So I'm going to start off with my first post, which goes back to Luis Diaz and Barcelona. So I'm going to talk about this because it's the story that just won't go away. Now, as we know, Barcelona have kept, sacked, and sacked Xavi again. So he's gone. It looks like they're going to have Hansi Flick in as their new coach. And I wonder, do they have the money for Diaz? Whether they do or not, the links won't go away. And AS, who are a Spanish outlet, have said Barcelona are trying really hard to sign Luis Diaz. A meeting has already taken place with Diaz agents. However, negotiations with Liverpool are expected to be tough. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight, is this persistent link. And it's not only now with Barcelona. I think you could probably throw Paris Saint-Germain into the mix for Lucho. But only one of those two I would feel not happy because I don't want to lose them, but I would understand, and that would be the move to Barcelona. I don't see PSG as a step up for Lucho or anybody else. It would just be a money grab, in my opinion. So let's wait and see. I do feel we're going to lose one attacker in this window. We're going to have a debate tonight about who you think that attacker will be, because as I go through my notes, you'll notice we move towards the inevitable Mohamed Salah conversation. So I'll get to that in a couple of moments' time. Levi said, Craig, who's the ideal replacement for Diaz if he sold this summer? I'd love Anthony Gordon. The fume would be insane. God, if Diaz moved off, it's a difficult one, because honestly, if we lost Diaz, I feel like between Darwin, if he stays, and Gakpo, we could cover that left-hand side. But I do think no matter what happens, we are going to bring in an attacker. And the reason I use the word attacker is it seems to be a split of whether we'll see a wide player come in or whether it will be number 10 type forward. But it will be an attacking player. Who would I replace Diaz with? Well, I'm going to say something really stupid now for just 1 second. Rafael Leao. Now, hear me out, because I didn't think this was possible either. I would have sat here and said, nah, Rafael Leao not happening. But I'm sure that you guys have seen a lot of the stories that Al Hilal from the Saudi Pro League are looking at trying to sign Rafael Leao for £85 million. Now, if that's the number, which I don't believe it is, but if that's the number, I wouldn't say no. If Milan are willing to do business at £85 million, I would like Liverpool to smack that £85 million down on the desk and say, yes, Rafa, yes, Mr. Leao, come on across, join Diogo. I'd be more than happy with it. But I still don't think that's the right number. I think his release clause is higher than that. But I've seen consistent stories using that number for Rafael Leao. Now, you're saying he's overrated, David. I guess that's open to interpretation, but I certainly feel like he's a very good player. And I wouldn't say now if we lost Diaz and that was the type of money available. What I think will happen is we'll end up with a Crescencio Somerville or somebody like that coming in, and I think the most likely option will be Bakayoko or Somerville to come in if we're looking to bring in another attacking player over the next couple of weeks. And I hope it moves soon. Thoughts on Somerville? Not convinced. I've got to be honest now. I'm not convinced. Now, I'll also say I haven't seen the biggest of sample sizes of Crescencio Somerville. But I do think with Leeds not getting up to the Premier League, that, you know, it's pretty widely reported that they'll have to shave down their wage bill and get some players off and free up some money. So I feel like they're going to be ripe for an offer. You know, maybe the Arne Slot Dutch connection there with Somerville is one that the club like. It would feel like a risky one to me. It's not one that I look at and think, yep, since Crescencio Somerville would come in and do absolutely fine. He may do, but it'd have to be for the right number for me. And even at that, he would be further down my list than a lot of others. So I think him or Bakayoko are probably reasonable targets, but let's wait and see.